Hello, hello. I'd like to welcome everyone to my channel. I am the Ethereal Aquarian, and this is my debut reading. I'm an Aquarius. My Venus is in Virgo. My ascending is Leo, and my moon is in Capricorn. I'm also on a Capricornian cusp, so let's just say I'm pretty grounded. I like to see things through, but I have the humanitarian heart, and I'm very compassionate. I felt guided to do these readings. My first and debut reading will be a general collective. No zodiological sign specific, just to give a brief snapshot, if you will, as to the collective and any guidance that if you were drawn to click on this video, what messages and guidance Spirit and the universe might have for you. The first deck I'm using is called The Secrets of Tarot by Amanda Hall. It was my inexpensive way of getting a deck and having it be close to Rider Waite, because of course the Aquarian in me, as a first deck, picked kind of a one of the more difficult tarot decks to begin with. So in a frantic attempt to at least learn what I thought I needed to learn to be able to have the confidence to bring videos forth to the collective, I found something a little more similar to the Rider Waite, and this is the one I come up with, and it's been very, very helpful. And then I'll follow up with the Barbieri Tarot by Barbara Moore, and artwork by Paolo Barbieri, which is a fantastical artist. I've fallen in love with his artwork. I've collected not only his tarot deck, but also his oracle deck, and also one of his calendars so far, and plan on getting his Chinese oracle, and he has a book out. I believe it's a dragon book, or something along those lines, and that's on my agenda. So, without further ado, here I am to provide a collective snapshot to see how things are going and any guidance that Spirit might have for you today. Spirit, ancestors, guides, and universal spirit, thank you for being here with me this evening. Please guide these cards to give any messages that you feel the collective might be needing to hear, and guide me to the correct message that you intend on conveying. Thank you. I'll go ahead and do a split here. Oh, there we go. Well, I guess I'll grab that one first. All right. Here we go. I'm going to rest this on the edge here. First card's the moon. Make sure you guys can see these pretty well. I'm going to go ahead and do have quite a bit of a glare, making it kind of a pain to see. Moon card here. Okay. The moon speaks of things yet to be seen. It also can speak on trusting your intuition, knowing the things inside your heart space instead of the analytical space that we are programmed into. Let's continue on and see what else might... Oh, whoa. The sun as our next card. Looks like some balance is needed. Come on, camera. They're definitely more of the traditional... Let's see if I put it down closer to the candle maybe. I just got horrible lighting in here. Let me see if I turn on the porch light. Does that illuminate things a little better? Perhaps. Let's see if I can give that another go at it. Well, those are just horrible. I have to fix the lighting in here. See what works best. Ugh. Well, anyways, I think they kind of seem better back here. So, looks like balance is needed to be found. Balance is needed to be sought after, or balance is being found and sought after and being attained, because we have both sides, the sun and the moon. And I did that backwards, the moon and the sun. So as we come into balance with both sides of ourselves, where our heart space and our analytical brain become both illuminated, nothing in your soul is wrong. Nothing in your soul is coming from that space that will lead you wrong. When you have both the moon and the sun in a reading, I believe that means that you are being able to come from both sides of your being into a place where your decisions are made of a whole. All right. And then the Knight of Cups. So, Knight of Cups he's a very emotional knight, very grounded in his emotions, and can sometimes be a little emotionally unstable, but his motives tend to be very pure. As you see, his horse is white, his cup is extended. He's going to come through with a message of love, and I believe that's what this is saying on a whole, is that these things in balance bring your messages to the collective, to your whatever your soul purpose is, whatever you feel drawn, that you need to be bringing into fruition for the benefit of the collective. These things aligned will bring forth love into your messages. So don't believe that what you're doing won't be beneficial to someone. Beneficial on some note means that you will get your message across. Which is key. And then on the bottom of the deck was the Seven of Wands. Now the Seven of Wands will speak of not letting anyone throw you off balance. To keep in mind that there might be times when you feel like there's a hesitation, feel like these things are stopping you, feel like something keeps coming up that would hinder your progress, but not to despair, because you are on top of it. Because as you see, he is above all of these other wands. He seems to have a complete control over the situation. So don't let those little hiccups and hindrances stop your progress. Just to get some clarifiers, to make sure I have a pretty clear and concise message here with these cards. I'm using the Barbieri Tarot, as I said before. And you'll see what I mean on this artwork. It is just phenomenal. This man is a beautiful artist. Spirit, let's get some clarifiers on the moon and the message that I felt was being brought forth. Let's shuffle one more time. Alright, do a split here. Alright, on the moon, Seven of Swords. As you can see, this artwork is just so beautiful. The Seven of Swords is a little bit different depiction, and I'm going to read the captions that come with the book on these because I feel that Barbieri had done such a beautiful work with the art, and the stories that tagged along with them in the book are just, they're different. They put a little bit of a different spin, and they're worth paying attention to. So on the Seven of Swords here, let's see here, it says, forgo the swords and go straight for the wisdom. Be open and be vulnerable. Dance with the serpentine powers that connect earth and sky. Lose yourself in ceaseless flow. Transform yourself and transform your problems. So I feel that, being that it was a clarifier on the moon, that would make perfect sense. It's letting down those mental prisons that we each find ourselves in, and really finding where the wisdom is. It's in your intuition within you, and to let yourself free in that thought of your heart being a guide. This is the serpentine powers. And I love that, because we often meditate and believe that our roots are being planted into the ground, and that there's rays of light being shot to the skies, and those are kind of like serpentine powers, because they have that serpent-like appearance, and it's ceaseless flow. This is the flow of the moon, the flow of the sun. These things are ever giving, so there's no wrong when this balance is where your decisions and your guides are coming from. I think it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I'll do another clarify. Oh, and there is Knight of Wands, another very beautiful card. Very passionate knight. So here we are again, being told not to undermine our passions, our love, because when these things are in line, our messages will be aligned. And again, I will read from the Barbieri's book here. Let's see, the Knight of Wands. Let's see, where are we at here? Oh, I went too far. Okay. Oh, there we are. Knight of Wands. Having a lot of power doesn't mean you have to use it all the time or all at once. Sure, it looks impressive, but things can easily get out of hand. Better to hold back a little rather than risk unintentionally and unnecessary destruction. So, with great fervor, go ahead, but keeping that balance. We're working with the balance between the moon and the sun energy here. Then we would know innately that a reserve of our passion, so that we can have that endless, that ceaselessness. It's very important. That's beautiful, beautiful message so far. And then I was upside down. The Hanged Man. And this is a little bit different depiction of the Hanged Man. And I love the way this artwork has come across on the sun. And often, even though we think we're doubters. We second guess ourselves. We're constantly questioning ourselves because of the programs that we've been raised up with. And the Hangman, I believe, in this lineup is telling us that sorry about that. I believe that the Hangman is telling us on this note that simply looking at it from a different perspective may not be where we want to go. We need to look at it from the perspective of we are a balanced whole people. We just doubt. Let loose of the doubt. See that doubt from a different angle, that maybe you shouldn't be doubting. And I'm going to read from the book again. Hanged man or woman in this case. Where's she at? Where is it? Da-da-da-dum-da-dum. At least she's not alone in her despair. She is joined by those others who've made the ultimate sacrifice for what they thought was the ultimate prize, a soul for everlasting life, which is not such a bargain. Sure, you are forever thin and beautiful and on this planet, but soon you forget why and no longer care. So basically, the story tells, just as I said, that don't lose yourself in doubt. Don't lose yourself in bargains or how, not necessarily bargains, but when we bargain with ourselves, when we're constantly using that factor of weighing out in our minds, well, this and well, that, and what if this happens? The what ifs can always lose ourselves in a position we don't want to be in. Oh, and another night. I do believe this is telling us very wholeheartedly, your message needs to be heard. Whoever needed to hear this message, to get your message out, as long as it comes from the passionate love, the balance, it needs to be out there to make your move, make your mark. And the Knight of Cups, I'll read from his little story here. It's actually chalices in this book, I'm sorry. Knight of Cups. Whoever has the biggest, most ferocious dragon wins, right? Then just make way, because I have this contest totally locked up. If anyone thinks they can get past me, let them try. And maybe we'll even let them live. So that's the kind of fervor that you should go after with your passion. With that passion that you'll take their dragon out if they try, because there's no reason why a good, loving, passionate, and helpful message that needs to come across. These things will come one way or another, and not to ever use your own self-doubt, your own self-critic, to be so criticizing of it that you don't think that you can be a victor. These knights are all telling you your message needs to be out there. And clarifications. We've got the Two of Pentacles. Now, as you see, on this card, this is not the traditional Rider-Waite depiction of the Two of Pentacles. This girl here looks very confident. And you see there's yellow behind her, and there is a gate. But it doesn't look as if the gate is something she's concerned with. It seems like she is guarding that gate more than anything. And I often like to think of the Two of Pentacles as integration. Whatever it is that you want to take as your talent or your skill and integrate it into a gift that you can present to the collective that will help us make New Earth. And that's ideally where the gifts should be heading. You know, your new project, your new endeavor, helping the collective become the New Earth that is in the light frequency. That being in the back of your mind, going from the heart and unleashing that out into the collective, so that each one of us gets a permeation of your light. And that is already a connected flow. It's an energetic collective flow. This is simply taking a beam of light that you feel and integrating it into the already flowing collective energy. And I'll read the Two of Pentacles. Let's see. You have to decide. Are you going to drop everything, submit to a cosmic pat down, and step through the gate into your future? Or are you going to clutch tightly to all that baggage that's done you no good so far? Drop the stuff, grab your courage, and go. I think that's pretty straightforward. Drop your cosmic baggage or cosmic pat down. You might have a little scrutiny along your way. There might be setbacks. Again, we spoke on that earlier. There might be things that make you feel like it's stopping. It's just a cosmic pat down. Drop the baggage. Let's go. And then one more card. We have the Four of Swords. Such beautiful, beautiful artwork. And here we have an angel kneeling down. I mean, just beautiful. Just beautiful, beautiful. And let's see, we'll pull her up. There we go. Move my candle just a little. There we are. For me, this is kind of a feed off because it almost looks like the same girl here from the 2 to the 4. She's kneeling down. She looks a little battle-worn. But it's almost like she's still protecting what part of it is very sacred to her. And that's another thing, is that flows right into it. You've had your cosmic pat downs, you've had your doubts, you've weighed out all of the haters, you've made your mark. You might end up being a little worn. But you have such protection from the universe that just simply crouch down. You're being protected with your sword. Don't ever forget that there is a cosmic sword, so to speak. There, your universal sword, protecting you. Kneel down. Take your respite. It's okay. Your guard will not be lost. You will always have that protection. And the 4 swords on this story. Where are you at? Where are you at? Right here. Fierce battles await, and you might think you aren't up to them. You can hide away, make yourself as safe as possible. Take that time to find your strength and your confidence, because when you come out, they'll be waiting. And I believe that's pretty much the same aligned story here, that the universe has your back. You have a story to tell. You have a gift to give. And the collective needs you. Whatever your gift is, whatever your skill set is, if you integrate it into a love message, a love project for the progression of New Earth, to get us to the light and love that the world should be residing in. We've been sitting in these programs of lack for too long, and so many of us are feeling that weariness. We are being wore down from the complete lack programming. And just to come out of it is just like the 4 swords. You take your respite. You take it. Retreat for a minute if you need to, but come back with your strength. It doesn't get, easier per se, because when it gets to the most difficult point, that is when there's light. It's darkest before the dawn. It's an absolutely beautiful story we've got here. On the bottom of this deck was the devil. And this devil, I believe, very different, is saying that you don't have to be bound by your programming. You don't have to be bound by anything you feel is a hiccup or a cosmic pat down or even a battle, because there's always a way of rejuvenation, and there's always a way of finding in your favor those behind you, whether it's the universe having your back, your friends, your family, anyone that knows you, and the universe being the number one biggest fan, will always have your your positive light message, your positive light gift, they're sent forth into the collective. That message will come through. You will be received. You will receive what it is that needs to be received from you, because you have the gift. Go for it. I'm going to pull a couple oracle cards, and these are the Isis Oracle by Alana Fairchild. Spirit, just a little bit more guidance on this path. A little more guidance on this path for the collective. Guided to hear this message tonight. I saw the other card. Alright. I'll do jumpers for this one. Oh, I believe that one was it. Thank you, Spirit. Here's the artwork for that card. Again, beautiful, beautiful Alana Fairchild artwork here. Hopefully these will come through a little bit better. And it says the Lunar Queen. There is a deep feminine wisdom that recognizes the importance of cycles of rest and replenishment, and essential to balance our actions of power and demonstration. You are asked to allow this replenishment for yourself now, trusting that you are in a cycle of creation that is about to shift into a new phase. Release and enjoy the process without having to control or force it. And that's living with your soul purpose. Nothing is forced. Nothing feels like work. It's all enjoyment and fun. So if you need to take a rest, take your rest. You have Lunar Queen, Divine Feminine energy there guiding you into a new phase, into a new cycle. And only abundance can be waiting for you, because there's enough for everyone to go around. And the world has lived in lack for far too long. Each one of us can step up and say, enough. Enough of the lack. There's too much lack. And we're ready to let the light through and let abundance reign on everyone and every corner, and change what this world has become to something that we can all be proud of and we can all take part in. Well, that's all I have this evening, and if you like, I hope to have you like and subscribe and share and all those things, and hopefully I'll be able to get my channel up and running, more readings to come. Thanks. Bye-bye.